What a mess I've become! But now you're one too," the old woman hollered. Then she climbed out of the creek and stomped off. Plug hauled himself out and tried to remember what his mama had sent him to do. He even took off his hat, scratched his head, and thought. But, as you're sure to remember, no one was as forgetful as Plug. All he could think of was what that old woman had yelled. So down the road he went, saying just that. "What a mess I've become! But now you're one too. What a mess I've become! But now you're one too." It wasn't more than 2 bumps and a bend in the road later that Plug Honeycut came upon a boy who had tumbled tail-past tea kettle over his bicycle handlebars. He'd landed upside down in the blackberry brambles with his basket of eggs on his head. And there came Plug, saying, "What a mess I've become, but now you're one too. What a mess I've become, but now you're one too." This didn't sit too kindly with the boy in the blackberry brambles, who thought Plug was making fun of him. Up he jumped and grabbed Plug, cracking his one remaining egg on Plug's floppy-brimmed hat. Then he threw Plug into all those troublesome stickers. "So there," he hollered. "Look who's in a fix now." Poor Plug. Those thorns weren't gentle with his clothes or his hide either. If he'd been a mess before, he was a real mess now. He untangled himself and crawled back out onto the road, but, of course, he couldn't remember then what he hadn't remembered before, because, as you're sure to remember, no one was as forgetful as Plug. So instead of saying, "Soap, soap, don't forget the soap, 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 don't forget the soap," off he went, saying what he'd heard last instead. "Look who's in a fix now! Look who's in a fix now!" Down the road a piece, a tree had fallen on top of an unfortunate farmer's truck. Plug hobbled upon the scene, still saying, "Look who's in a fix now! Look who's in a fix now!" The farmer took it all wrong. He wasn't in the best of moods, what with a tree on top of his truck and all, and thinking Plug was making fun of him got him even more riled. He grabbed Plug by the collar and marched him right over to the truck, where he made Plug saw that tree up into firewood and load it in his truck. "Nothing on top and better off for it," growled the farmer as he drove away an hour later. Poor Plug. By then he was covered with all manner of sawdust and sweat and truck grease and grime. That besides the mud and the egg and the blackberry scratches. And he couldn't remember what his mama sent him out for either. All he could recollect was what the farmer had said. So off he lit toward the town, saying just that. Nothing on top and better off for it. Nothing on top and better off for it. Land sakes alive! If Plug's troubles weren't enough, along came a man so bald on top, the birds were blinded by the sun reflecting off his scalp. And there came Plug saying, "Nothing on top and better off for it. Nothing on top and better off for it."